everybody, welcome back to Coffee and Lore. Well, today it's tea and lore. Because I have a lovely cup of Earl Grey this morning. I'm wearing my plaid. Can you guess what this video is on? Probably something Outlander related, because it is. Today we are talking about Diana Gabaldon and Theresa Carle-Sanders, the Outlander Kitchen. We're gonna get a thumbnail. You get to stare at my lovely face for a little while. Okay, so this book, it's a recipe book. I love to cook. Whether you like to cook or not, I recommend, if you are an Outlander fan, to have this one on your shelf. Because the great thing that Theresa Carle-Sanders does, she is a very famous chef. She's not just like an Outlander fan. She's a really well-known chef as well. She reached out to Diana Gabaldon about making this cookbook because she wanted to take excerpts from the book and the different foods that Diana uses in the books and bring it into a recipe book where fans can make all of the wonderful things that you see in the books, which is fantastic for somebody like me. Because the great thing is, and I read through most of this book, because there's excerpts with each recipe for, I'm just pulling up a good one, where it is seen in the actual book. So this recipe here is Oxford's baked beans. You see the excerpt from the book there in red, and then it gives you the recipe. But before it gives you the recipe, it tells you that you can find it in chapter 22 of Drums of Autumn. The chapter is called Spark of an Ancient Flame. And that is where they eat Oxford baked beans. It's probably something to do with Brianna, and during the time when Claire and Brianna were there. So, I wanted to share with you a couple of little recipes that I really loved from this book, if it will cooperate with me. Okay, this one is from one of the later books, but I really want to try it. It's Governor Tyrant's Humble Crumble Apple Pie. Can you see it there? And it is from the Fiery Cross, because they're already in the US at this point. And it's from chapter 72, Tinder and Char, of the Fiery Cross. There's a ton of recipes from like the first book, and they're gonna be like your older Scottish recipes. I'm trying to find one here really quickly that we can show. So the first recipe in the book, I think, is going to be Castle Leoch, hot broth at Castle Leoch. And it is basically the broth that is served to her in chapter 4 when she first arrives at the castle. It gives you the excerpt from the book, and it gives you the recipe on how to make this amazing broth. One that is really easy and I can't wait to make in my house because I know it's going to go over really well, it's a drink. Jamie's Rusty Nail. Okay? And they drink this in a breath of snow and ashes in chapter 30. It's a whiskey drink, and my husband loves whiskey. So it is 1.5 ounces of Scotch whiskey, a half an ounce of Drambuie, and ice and a lemon twist. So I'm not sure what Drambuie is, but I'm assuming it's going to be something that's going to cut that whiskey a little bit, make it a little bit more pleasant to sip on. And I'm sure we will be trying that soon. That's probably going to be the most used recipe in this book. But just some really, really amazing recipes. There's like a lot of biscuit and tart recipes that I want to try, because those are English things, or things found in like the United Kingdom that we don't have really here in America. And I'd like to try them and make them. The other one that I wanted to show you that I think I lost the place on was this one. So I'm not sure what a birdie is in the UK. Birdie, B-I-R-D-I-E. But Brianna's Birdies is a recipe in here, and it is from Drums of Autumn. And when I looked at the picture, I am from Michigan, and we have something called a pasty up in the, you generally get it in Mackinac or up in the UP. But if you see there, it's like a little pocket pie with meat and vegetables in it. and it's exactly looks like a pasty, or what our pasty would look like. And so I really want to try those to see, like, compare and contrast what a pasty to a birdie is. So I'm really excited about that. On that note, I hope you guys are having an amazing Wednesday morning. I'm having a great week over here. I hope you guys are staying positive, staying safe. What are you guys reading this week?